Hello, this is my Nice Gets Nuked. I am thirsty. I will be the world tonight, and this is my lovely shiny crew. They're so wonderful that they can say their own names, and they know what order to do it in now.
They do. Hello, I'm Spanners. I'm playing Timmy, and I am going to try not to do any killing or human trafficking tonight. I'll probably fail.
And don't mutilate any more sex workers.
Just a few.
Just try not to. That's all we ask. Just try. Okay.
I'm Milf. I'm playing Anita, and I'm going to probably deal lots of drugs because I've finally got a decent stash.
Ever reputable.
I'm Ivor. I'll be playing Zeke and attempting not to run away at high speed and split the party once more, but sometimes life happens.
Yes. You're not promising anything, are you? So yes, before we get any further, there are some rules for chat. Do not be at all about someone's race. Do not be at all about someone's gender. Do not be at all about someone's orientation or location or whether or not you actually like them at all. Just don't. Don't be at all.
Or a screwdriver.
Yes.
Just look around.
We are. Yeah. Corone would actually kill me. So, there we are. And hello, people in Chatland. So yeah, we are currently standing in the market in Ooze Town, just outside. Just by Herb's dad's little stall, which I actually did listen to the recap, and I cannot remember what he sold. So let's assume it doesn't matter.
Metal stuff. Metal stuff.
Metal stuff. That sounds likely. So yeah, you're standing next to a fellow who sells a large assortment of metal rubbish. Oh yes, he makes metal stuff and he creates engines for people. So yeah, Herb has told you, that Martin on the other side of the market deals drugs. He uses kids as runners, hurts them, and he works for Al. And he also told you that his sister Frigg, who you met earlier, has a good friend called Jasmine who works at Butts, which ties in quite nicely to that little tidbit you got earlier that Daniel and Jasmine, Big Bill's favourite sex workers, work at Butts. So now you have a family connection, friendship, whatever. Who knows?
Didn't we also find out that Herb's mum, worked at Butts?
I think that was more of a confusion about who people were than whether it was his mum or not. I think we dealt with that in the outro. We were like, was it his mum or his friend? Yeah, it's his friend. So yeah, you are currently standing in a market. You know where you need to go. You know that your faces have been circulated among the guards. Well done. Of the three brothels, or the three larger brothels in town.
2 now.
Yeah, you burnt down one and eliminated the other by visiting it overnight with an unconscious person. So there is one large brothel left. Of course, it's been like a day and a half since you got the information that Bill may be there, but and if he is, it'll probably be guarded, and your descriptions have been circulated. But hey, these are your problems. So, what are you guys going to do? You're standing in the market with a large bag of drugs.
Well, the drugs get stashed in my pack.
Okay. You don't leave either with any of the drugs after. Oh, okay. Not gonna I imagine that Anita's probably got like a little first aid kit or something, like one of the lockable ones.
Hell yeah.
Puts the bag of drugs, possibly just upends it like into her bag, like drops all the bandages and shit out of it, just puts the bag of drugs in there, closes it.
Yep.
So you just have a big bag of illicit drugs. In like
Definitely.
little like in one of those little first aid boxes like you see in like Resident Evil games and things. It looks a bit like a kid's lunchbox.
I know the ones.
So yeah, you are carrying a ungodly quantity of narcotics, opiates, and other things. What are you doing? Where are you going? What's happening now? The world is your oyster, or something worse.
Zeke will turn around to the two and say, should we try the back door of Butts? And try not to draw too much attention to ourselves.
Okay.
I think Timmy's going to nod at Zeke, but before she goes off, she's going to make eye contact with, definitely haven't forgotten his name, Herb, and just point to the bracelet that he'd made last time out of one of the chains she gave him, and just go to remind him that he promised to give us the messages.
Oh yes, I forgot. You blackmailed a child from showing for literacy.
Not blackmailed. I traded.
Traded an idea and skill that you could have freely given to an at-risk child.
Yep.
And you promised to teach him how to write his own name in return for him betraying his family and their employers.
Yeah, well,
everyone he's ever known. In fact, technically, it's an act of treason against the ruler of the town he lives in. Oh, let's hope he doesn't get caught.
I was killing your favourite prostitute, but never mind.
Well, that depends how absolute the law is. If there is a law, indeed. But anyway, yeah. So you're looking for the back door of Butts. How are you going to go about that?
Check where the front door is and remember how many buildings down the alley it is. And then
okay, so you're going to walk up to the front of this place that you've heard about for days now. And scope it out a bit.
At a distance, like the other side of the square, perhaps.
Well, you could stay by the stalls in the middle. Sneak a glance.
Yeah.
Hell, Anita could probably just walk over there. It's you two that that have had your description circulated.
Yeah.
Admittedly, if they knew what Anita had done, they definitely want to catch her too. But
I haven't done anything.
you helped an arsonist escape his crime.
He helped me escape a building.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Fair enough. But he did help you escape the building by setting it on fire and shooting people.
I didn't tell him to do that. That was his own decision.
Yes. That's right, Corone. You're wanted for murder arson. If only there was a better name for that.
It probably
Arse
is.
murder? No, who knows? Arse murdery? Arson murder? I don't know. I'm sure Bender Bending Rodriguez could come up with a better one, but I can't. So hey, yeah. So you're gonna let Anita, poor Anita, wander off alone in this dangerous, dangerous world to scope out this place for you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm going to head towards Butts.
Okay. Head off towards Butts. The market isn't the easiest place to navigate necessarily, but you know your way now. It's crowded, but it's not labyrinthine. Where are the other two going? Where are you going to wait for her? I assume you've set a location to wait for her. If I wanted to be cruel, I'd say you haven't mentioned it, so you haven't.
maybe just like the very corner, like where the crowd still like reaches the edge of the market, so we can see out, but anyone looking would just see faces in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you've picked a corner of the crowd, broadly speaking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you've got like that street meat cart or something. Somewhere where the crowd's moving, but the crowd's not that thick. But fair enough. So, Anita, you stroll off in the direction of Butts, which coincidentally is the direction of everywhere else you've been recently. Pretty much.
Funny that.
Yeah. And once again, you come up to the leather workers. So I assume you approach it sort of. Which side do you approach it from? Do you just walk straight up to it, or do you approach it coyly from the left, where the leather workers is? I'm desperately searching my notes to try and find the name, or do you approach it from the right, the side where you guys basically haven't been, with all the other shops on that side?
Let's approach it from the right.
Okay. Are you going to be making a bit of a show of window shopping on the way down, or are you briskly walking towards Butts with the look of someone who wants to sample some butts?
Let's just head straight towards Butts. What the hell?
Okay, yeah. So you meander around the marketplace and you come out on the opposite side of the square, over by Belinda's House of Corsetry and Other Crafts, and you head on round past a few seamstresses, and there's a laundress and a few other sort of bits and pieces that you'd find in a port town where people just they don't have a home, so everything you need to have done at home, you pay someone else to do here. You have someone whose job is just to collect clean water. That's a weird job, but hey. So there's some provision stores and things like that. But yeah, eventually you come up on Butts, which it's a large sort of flat-fronted building. The front facade is quite well finished. It's made of sort of plyboard mainly, but it's been painted even. And upon the front of this plyboard is a rather beautiful fresco of some rather anatomically improbable people doing things that look almost painful to each other, but prominently featuring two large, pert, peach-like arses. There's a male figure and a female figure, and they seem to be sort of clasping each other's hands over the top of the doorway, while another person, who you're not entirely sure, there's another person, a very androgynous figure, sort of forming the lintel of the door. Who knows what's happening? But anyway, there it is, Butts. Well, it says, Butts, the House of Butts, all are welcome. Everyone's got a butt. It's an odd slogan, but they go with that. But notably, Butts is spelt Buttes, so you assume it's someone's surname. It's just a happy coincidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's gonna have a quick look at the fresco on the outside and kind of go, yeah, it wouldn't work, and walk in.
Fair enough. So yeah, you have a glance at the fresco. You notice actually as you get a bit closer that there are some windows cut out that sort of actually the shutters. The fresco is painted on the outside of the shutters, and some of them are slightly opened to let a bit of air in. It's a warm day. It's fair enough. But yeah, as you stroll on in, as it seems to be vogue in these places, there's another bloody beaded curtain. Yeah. You assume it's probably because flies are attracted by the river mud and things like that. So, but you go through a rather nice set of swing doors, sort of saloon style doors, and then there's this beaded curtain, which, as always, gets caught everywhere. stumble through it on the other side feeling a bit of a prat. Because that's just what these things do. They're not designed for actual human beings to pass through. They're just designed to be a bloody nuisance. So yeah, you stroll on into Butts, and inside is... It's sort of an arrangement of clusters of small round tables, each with sort of 4 to 6 chairs around them, positioned around two long stages that sort of both protrude into the room from doors in the back wall. And these stages, one has a swing on it, and the other has a pole. And on the pole currently is a rather heavily oiled young man who you're not entirely sure if what he's doing is actually possible. He seems to be clasping the pole with his buttocks at times, holding himself in the air in entirely improbable ways. But he's pleasant enough to look at. You know, it's clearly a skill. Meanwhile, on the swing is a tall, slightly older woman with red hair and an impressive figure, in what was probably once a red sequined dress, but is now somewhat closer to sort of red sequined smock, who's sort of crooning in a voice that was probably once sort of smoky and scandalous, but is now just kind of croaky and unpleasant. And you see, an announcer come out who tells everyone to give it up for Jess, as she hops off the swing, lights a cigarette, walks into the back. So yeah, you see around these many tables. And there is assemblage of the sort of people who visit a strip club in the day. On the wall to the left, sort of immediately next to you, there's an arrangement of sort of plants, or maybe plants, possibly things that look a bit like plants, and a buffet. On your right is a bar, serving an array of rather fruity looking things. And they've got some big casks of probably beer. I'm entirely sure. But yeah, this place, for all intents and purposes, looks like a strip bar.
While watching the bloke on the pole, Anita's going to head towards the bar.
Okay. Yeah. You head towards the bar. There appears to be more people at the bar now that Jess has finished singing. Yeah. There are quite a few people sort of just sitting, ignoring everything happening behind them, drinking. Which is odd, considering how early in the day it is, but hey. Yeah, you make your way through to the bar, and behind it there's a moderately attractive teenage girl, sort of running up and down behind the bar, making sure people's drinks are refilled. Well, I think she's refilling these sort of beer mugs from a jug, which is a little odd, but understandable. Probably just filled a pitcher and refilling sort of cheap drinks. And sitting behind her is a sort of a heavy set fella. He might be muscle, he might be a bouncer, he could be an owner. You're not entirely sure.
Okay. Anita's going to head up to the bar and ask for a beer.
As you sort of muscle your way in a little, and sort of push a sort of a weaselly looking dude off of a stool and sit down. You notice there's a little sign at the end of the bar end of the bar furthest away from the door, also, that says 1 drink free. And the girl comes back now and she's like, beer is it?
Please.
And she slops out an earthenware mug, just literally rubs it with a rag and fills it from her pitcher of cheap beer. It smells cheap. You can smell it from here.
Really doesn't bother Anita.
Yeah.
She's going to take a quick sip and she's going to ask the young lady behind the bar what her name is.
Brycey.
Brycey?
Brycey, yeah.
That's an interesting name.
Yeah. That's what I thought when I picked it.
If you can pick your own name, bonus. I'm looking for Jasmine. Is she about at all?
Yeah, she should be on the stage in a few minutes.
Oh, brilliant. I know she's friends with Herb, isn't she? Or Herb's sister or something?
Who?
Some lad from the market.
She's friends with a good many lads in the market.
Fair. That's a good point.
Is there anything else I can get you? Are you looking to take some of Jasmine's time?
I might be. I'm wondering whether her main client has been in recently at all.
Oh,
I might have some business with him.
Well, we couldn't really be talking about clients. Clearly, it's all very confidential. We don't tell. You don't ask, do you?
I understand completely.
So, are you looking to hire a little of her time? Are you thinking of an afternoon, an evening, the whole night? Yeah.
Maybe an afternoon. Depends what her rates are.
Well, standard rates apply. And she points up at the rather scant sort of bar menu, and it literally just sort of reads, beer, spirits, girl, boy. I mean, underneath that, it has some names as well. Apparently, Jessie is quite sought after, as is a few others. There's Daniel's on there. There's a Brian. There's a Hunk, and there's just one that says Sploosh. God knows what the hell that is, but hey.
Okay.
So yeah, she points at the rates. The standard rate is it's 2 tack for an hour.
Okay.
Does note specials are available on request. Multi-buy discounts are negotiable.
She is going to say that she will take a couple of hours after she comes off stage, if that's possible.
A couple of hours? Wow. And she goes over to what is quite clearly some manner of a water-based clock. It has little notches sort of painted on to a clear tube. The drains or fills at some sort of rate. It's clearly their elaborate form of timing when to kick people out. And she gets out a stick of chalk and draws a streak on it and goes, 2 hours, 3?
Just 2.
Just 2. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, that'll be 4 now, and if you stay longer, we'll send Leo up to deal with business.
Take it that's Leo, and she points to the guy behind the bar.
Yeah, that's Leo. Say hello, Leo. Hello, Leo.
Hi, Leo.
He lifts up a hand like easily the size of a bear paw.
Anita's just going to have a look and decide she really doesn't want to mess with him. She is going to finish her beer and say that she'll be back in a moment for her time.
Okay.
And she's going to wander around the room to see if she can see a back entrance.
Okay, yeah. So
or any windows at the back.
Strip club. Windows. But yeah, you can have a look around. Give me a perception. Pretty surprised you didn't try and barter your way to a cheaper price, but hey.
Perception. That is 10.
On a 10, God, it's a horrible, dark, smoky strip club. On a 10, yeah, you notice there are 2 doors at the back of the stages. You notice there are no windows because it's a strip club. And why would anyone pay to come to a strip club when they can just look through the window? You also, just out of sheer curiosity, you go and look at the buffet that's available, and as you previously suspected, the plants are in fact skillfully constructed carvings of plants that require no water. Stuck into pots with maybe an inch of dirt sort of thrown over the top. Not soil, just general dirt. Dirt and filth and crusts and fag ash, God knows what. But yeah, but the buffet looks alright. I mean, God knows how many hours it's been sitting there, but consider all things considered, not a bad little thing. It just means people don't have to leave.
She's going to grab a couple of bits off the buffet and then head outside to rendezvous with her colleagues.
Okay, well, on the buffet you notice quite prominently there is some kind of lightly spiced biscuit. There are some meat on sticks. Who knows what? And there's something that looks like pickled fish. And there's a very, very small container of something that was probably ketchup at some point. But it's got little chunks of pickled fish in it from where some absolutely deplorable person probably double dipped some of their pickled fish.
She's just going to take some of the meat on the stick and the biscuits. She's going to munch some of the meat on the stick as she wanders out.
Okay, give me a physical endurance save.
Because this is going to go so well. It's a botch.
Oh God. Okay, yeah, you eat the meat on stick, and within moments you feel something going drastically wrong in your guts. It's painfully acute and unpleasant. You're probably only sort of 2/3 of the way to the door at the time when you feel it bubbling back up. and you violently vomit all over the inside of the beaded curtains. With horrible meaty chunks. And, and bits of the fish you had for breakfast yesterday, and any tack you may have eaten at any point.
Yep.
And the cheap beer. And I can't remember if you had any drinks the other day as well, but yeah.
Probably.
Just a torrent of everything you've eaten in the last day and a half. It's... Yeah. You feel a lot better afterwards, though. You feel really good, actually. However, Leo has stepped out from behind the bar. She's like, no. Out.
I didn't choose to do that. It's your meat.
No.
Yes.
No. And he grabs a meat on a stick from your hand, and he sticks the entire stick into his mouth and pulls it out clean. It's like, it's fine. And he throws the stick, and it sticks straight into the wall next to the door. At which point you realise there's about a dozen of these just stuck in the wall. Either that's a lovely soft piece of wall, or this is a trick that he does a lot. He's just like, out.
I can assure you it was definitely the meat. I know what I'm talking about. It was definitely the meat.
Out.
I'm now fine, and I've already paid.
Okay. Well, that hand you keep waving in his face, he has decided to grab it.
Yeah.
He's going to seize you by the wrist and lift you from your feet. He's going to seize you by the ankle, and he's going to throw you through the beaded curtains.
Mm-hmm. She's going to yell, I want my tack back, as she gets thrown out. She's not going to resist in any way.
No. He just throws you out. Justify to me in any way you not taking damage as you go crash out the front, down the front step of this place.
I have a feeling she's been chucked out of places before and she knows how to suck and roll.
Okay, justify me a roll. I would argue it would be some manner of endurance save, if you want it to be physical or reflex.
Let's go reflex.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a 7.
It's a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, you crash in the dirt outside. Coated now in a sheen of your own vomit. The brief sort of euphoria of having just vomited has worn off, and you just feel bad again now. And you've taken a level of exposure.
Yeah.
Just general sickness, beating, rough treatment. You have a level of exposure. Which,
my first ever level of exposure.
yeah, because I haven't been doing them. So, hooray, I've remembered. I built the goddamn system, I should probably make use of it sometimes. But yeah, someone has a level of exposure. Woo! So yeah, you guys outside. You're standing by a street meat cart. Are you going to avail yourself?
Does this street meat cart happen to say Bert's on the side as well?
No. This particular street meat cart says Gertie's grilled fish. Best in town. Try the spicy sauce.
It's been a while, so I think Zeke will go for it.
Does Zeke have any currency of any kind?
Yeah, he availed himself of a fair wad of tack.
Okay, cool.
Yesterday earlier from the merchant.
Okay, I'm just checking. I have no idea how much money you people have. So yeah, you're going to avail yourself. What about you, Spanners? You?
How long have we been waiting for Anita to come back?
Well, this is purely you've just literally walked over to the cart.
Okay. So we're not aware that she's been in there a while.
No. You've literally gone, Anita, you should go in over there, we'll wait for you by this cart, and she's walked the other way through the market. You're aware it'll be some time.
So based upon the fact that we have been kind of looking around the corner, try not to be too obvious, possibly for the first time in the entire campaign, I'm going to see if I can spot anybody who is going in and out of butts that potentially we might recognise, or maybe has got like blue coats on. Can I call a perception on that one?
Yeah. That's a perception.
That was a shit perception. I'm going to burn a legendary point on that one.
Yeah? Okay.
That was better. So that gives me a 15. No,
yeah,
it doesn't.
As you're,
13. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Ignore me.
Roughly the same sort of answer. Yeah, as you're standing there watching, yeah, you see a couple of blue coats go in. Yeah. And they seem to walk out a short time later, with some meat on sticks. And a selection of small biscuits. Something that looks almost Twiglet-like. But yeah, they don't stay in there very long. But yeah, there seems to be a fairly sort of brisk trade going in and out.
Okay.
Yeah. All are welcome, so everyone avails themselves. You see. Fuck it. Actually, yeah. You see the group of rowdy women you saw the other day outside Tom's oddity shop. just ploughing in there. At one point.
Did they come back out?
No. You don't see them come out. But yeah, mainly, as much as you're trying to look, you are distracted by Gert's grilled fish. It's right there. It smells really good. It's been
a while.
It's been a fair few hours since you ate.
Okay, in which case I think I'm possibly going to go and burn attack on some of those.
Okay, yeah. I assume you're both just going in one tack on these? Or are you going to stock up a bit, or are you going to gorge yourselves?
The value of like 4 skewers maybe? 3 for me and 1 for Jerry?
Well, it's literally it's more of a question of you go up and they ask you how much you're paying. They have a large amount of grilled fish.
I'll go in for
how much do you want?
Give us 2 tacks worth.
Bloody hell! All right. And she pulls out like a flat bread. Just piles like flat grilled fish, ones that have been like opened up flat and deboned, and just piles them into this flat bread. She's like, "You want sauce on that?"
Yeah, I'll try the hot sauce.
Good. And she gets out like a jar, and she pulls out a large sort of crusty looking spoon, and plunges it in, and just flops like 2 like almost ice cream scoop lumps onto your grilled fish, and then sort of closes the bread with some difficulty, sort of rolls it around a bit, hands it to you, in a little bit of it, on a little like wooden board, very cheaply made, almost the sort of thing you get from planing a piece of wood. It's almost paper thin. It's like, there you are. And this thing is thick.
Nice. I will sort of extricate one of the fish that doesn't look particularly hot sauced and hand it to, wake Jerry up in my bag and sort of offer it as lunch. And
Jerry just dives on it. He's totally down for eating a large quantity of grilled fish at this point. Yeah, the angrier head rips off a large chunk and leaves the midsection and tail of one of the other half for the more passive head, while he massively devours the lion's share. But this is how Jerry eats generally. Jerry seems to be enjoying it. He doesn't appear to be turning green or exploding or anything, so it looks all good.
Yeah. While sort of half keeping an eye on the door to Buck's, Zik will have some lunch.
Okay, yeah. You also see the large crowd of boisterous women who apparently are going on some kind of week-long hen do, you would assume. You see them piling on into butts. Just show us the boys. Whatever they're shouting. It just seems sort of, the sort of thing that you just dismiss as, oh yeah, that's a group of drunken ladies who definitely got to go out and see some cocks. So yeah. So you tuck into your mighty meaty sandwich, and so as you get a similar sort of thing, probably about half the size. These aren't scientific measurements, but definitely at least the size of a large burger. Do you want sauce, lovey?
What is it? It's hot sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Excellent. I think you can take a bit more than that one. And she flops 3 lumps of hot sauce onto yours. And then she opens a little bag of something sort of dry and powdery and sprinkles it on top. And it looks like dried seeds.
Okay.
She's like, oh, this is how I eat it. This is extra pleasant.
Extra. What is the thing again? What's the extra?
Oh, it's just some dried seeds. It just adds an extra to it,
Oh. Thank you.
That's all right. And you see her making one of these, and she tucks into it herself. After giving easily 2 or 3 times the amount of sprinkles she gave you.
Okay. So Timmy's never one to back down from a challenge, so she's going to take a bite.
Excellent. Oh, God. Give me an endurance poison.
Ooh. Nine.
Yeah, this is hot. This is capital H hot. This is capital O hot. This is capital T hot. You've accidentally touched, hot rivets that were colder than this. The searing pain of the accident that cost you most of your hearing hurt less than this. You dare say that you've killed people with less pain than this.
Okay.
It's very. It's delicious, but it's hot. It's agonizingly hot. You can actually feel your lips and tongue swelling. It tastes great, though. It tastes so good. But yeah, you're not going to be talking clearly for a while. Yeah, fuck it. Take a level of suffering. with that. Ooh, fucking hell! 4 unmitigated damage. Yes, you actually like raise your hand to your mouth to like wipe away some of the hot sauce, and your lips are actually bleeding.
Nice.
It is at this point your choice whether you want to spit out the mouthful you're eating or
Nope.
not. Are you going to eat the rest of it?
Nope.
Fair
I'm
enough.
going to wrap this up and retain it for later.
Fine, yeah. Good choice. Yeah. So Zeke, you're standing there, you know, leisurely eating your hot sauce. Also, give me an endurance poison.
Endurance poison. There's no way I can argue this for physical endurance as well.
No. You're not toughing this out. This is something that's actively harmful.
That is an 11 unnatural.
You're fine. You look at what's happening to your friend and you go, thank Christ I didn't have the fucking sprinkles. Jesus. That's... Whew. I mean, it's warm. It's pleasantly warm. You know, in fact, it's maybe slightly on the warm side of pleasant, but you know, it's good. The woman at the cart, however, is just openly sweating. You know, her face is red, her eyes are streaming. There's a big smile on her face. You know, she's just like, oh, it's fucking lush. No. She's just eating through the whole of this big ass thing, just smothered in sauce and sprinkles. She's loving it. Yeah.
I think seeing this go down, I would offer Spanners sort of whatever canteen I may be carrying. Sort of a swig of something tepid, but at least less hot.
Are you making any effort to hide your discomfort?
Yes. Yes, I don't think I'm succeeding.
Okay.
Specifically because my face is bleeding.
Give me a manipulate. Specifically manipulate charisma.
Manipulate charisma. Okay. Seven.
Yeah, you may be trying to keep a straight face, but you are in no way hiding the fact that this is hurting a lot. Having like polished off 3/4 of her like weird fish kebab, notices that you're really, really suffering. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, dear. I didn't mean to. Oh gosh. I know what to do. And she opens up a little hatch on the underside of her little cart, and she pulls out. Oh yeah, she pulls out what's clearly like a very, very old, like venerable, like pack of UHT milk. And she picks up a skewer and rams a hole in it. Just like, put your mouth to this, dear. And she literally just like pushes the hole at your face and squeezes it. She squeezes UHT milk down into your mouth to neutralise the chili burn.
Nice.
Yeah. She's nice like that.
Yeah, so I think Timmy will probably thank her.
Yeah.
Might not be able to make the word, but she'll definitely look grateful.
Yeah. She's just like, don't worry, look, you hold on to that. I didn't mean. Oh, it looks like you're bleeding a bit there. She gets a cloth and like looks around for something to dip it in. And she soaks it in some beer from a bottle she had sitting by the side. Like, just hold that to it. I mean, ooh, it's quite. Ooh, got some swelling.
Yeah, so Timmy's going to quite gratefully hold the beer to her mouth. And look at Zeke and kind of indicate by nodding over to Butts.
At this point, you see Anita arriving on the floor sideways, covered in sick.
Before we make the dash out there, do we see any blue jackets around that may notice us, sort of as we emerge from the small crowd?
I mean, obviously they're around, but there are none that seem to be coming this way. You know, you see the occasional blue jacket in the crowd, but you know they're just patrolling. Fuck it, they might even be off duty. They might even just be shopping. It doesn't look like these people take these off after work.
Okay. If I've assessed it's not too bad, I'd make a dart over to where Anita is and find out what happened.
Fair enough. You both going?
Yep.
Cool. So yes, we reunite. Hooray! And Anita, you find yourself laying in the dirt, covered in a sheen of sick. As two familiar-looking pairs of boots appear nearby.
She's going to try and get up and kind of brush herself down a bit. And turn to the other two and go, so whose idea was it to send me in there?
Well, you're meant to be the one who doesn't have her face all over posters, so we thought you might make friends. What did you do in there?
I arranged to spend some time with Jasmine. Then I ate some meat. Then I threw up. Then I got chucked out.
You ate some... What meat was it that you ate?
Has she still got the part of the kebab in her hand?
I'd say no. I'd say Leo took the kebab you had in your hand. So you probably have bits of meat on you.
Oh.
What meat did you eat? That one. That one. Yeah, that.
Yeah. No, she doesn't quite do that, but it's kind of... They had a buffet. It was free. It was food.
Yeah.
I'm normally fine. I wasn't fine. On the plus side, Jasmine has 2 hours free because I've paid for it.
Okay, are they going to let you back in?
I don't know.
I mean, unlikely if you kind of chucked up all over yourself. Oh,
it wasn't just myself.
What else got hammered with it?
You are currently standing in the doorway, so you can in fact see there's a little old man with a bucket and a sponge of some description. God knows what a post-apocalyptic sponge is made of. Probably sponge. Hey. And he appears to be sort of wiping off the beaded curtain just inside the saloon doors. He's grumbling to himself. Yeah.
Okay. Do we still have the big shirt and clothes that we took from before? Is that still in with Herbert? No, Jerry. The other stuff.
Yeah, probably still is. I mean, you haven't... unless you chucked them away when you took them off.
No, because we put them in the bag.
There we are, they're in the back.
So, could we...
Covered in scuzzle hair, and probably some grilled fish at this point, but...
Could we give them to Anita to wear and maybe kind of disguise her a little bit?
Because that always works so well.
You could give it to her to wear. I mean, I'm not sure how a slightly oversized men's shirt works as a disguise. someone walks away covered in sick and turns up again in a nightie. But hey, it could work. You never know.
I don't know, because I'm just trying to think how we get in there without being royally ejected again.
Given that we've seen blue coats go in and out, have we seen any go in recently? Any blue jackets that would still be in there, or have they sort of rotated round?
In the few minutes you've been watching, you haven't seen any stay. You haven't seen any go in and not come out. It was just those two who went in and came out with some buffet food.
Okay. That said, given the fact that anyone in there probably doesn't want to cause much of a fuss lest they be ejected as our companion has been, Zeke's just going to walk in.
Okay, yeah. Zeke walks in. I assume you wait a moment for the bloke to wipe off the curtains.
Yeah, and say, I'll just bob in and look to Timmy and say, I'm sure between the two of us we can get something worthwhile.
Alright, so yeah, you duck in. Are you leaving Timmy outside with Anita, or?
Well, I've thrown it out there that Timmy may, because we had two names, didn't we? One male, one female.
Yep.
With Jasmine and Daniel.
Yeah.
So we could double our odds of getting somewhere.
Yep. You could. So with that, is Timmy going in with you or not?
Absolutely, yes.
Excellent. Are you trying to smuggle Anita in? Or just pick her up and bring her back in? A problem drunk, a problem person who comes back with their friends looking to look after them might not be so much of a problem.
Yeah, I think I'm going to, at this point, Timmy's going to ask Zeke for the blue jacket so we can at least give her something that isn't going to repel people.
Zeke fishes out the blue jacket with the name Kurt blazingly in bold on the chest.
Yeah, okay.
Anita's going to refuse to put that on.
So let me get this
Not a good idea.
You're standing in the doorway of a popular entertainment establishment.
Yeah.
Holding the personalised, embroidered evidence of your murder of a what is essentially a policeman in public.
He's not dead.
Daylight.
He ran away.
Kurt's dead.
So
Kurt is dead as dead.
Oh,
Kurt
yeah.
is as dead as a can of Spam.
That's very,
was shot
very
through the
dead.
face and then left to burn in a building.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all the way dead.
I think we're going in. I think we're just going to go in.
So what are you going to do with this jacket? You have pulled it out. You've unfurled it. It says Kurt on the front. Anita has refused to put it on. What are you doing in this moment?
Anita's going, put it away.
We'll follow orders and put it away.
Fair enough. You quickly stuff it back into the bag. Fair enough. Yep, you stuff it back in the bag, and everything seems great. You seem to have gotten away with that. Whew. So yeah, you stroll into Butts. You go through the beaded curtain. To your immediate left are some imitation plants carved from wood and painted an odd shade of green. To your right is a bar with a rather large, heavy-lidded, balding man who's a bit sort of heavy-set, sitting on a stool behind the bar with a younger girl running up and down, serving sort of 24 sort of disreputable characters. A rather flexible and gymnastic young fella has just stepped down from the stage into a crowd of cackling women who sort of carry him around, almost crowd surfing style, off to a room on the far wall with a curtain for a door.
Zeke's gonna sit down at the bar, and rather than sort of specifically go for is Jasmine free, we'll take the route of who's free right now. Which of the ladies is free right now?
The ladies? Well, if you can wait, fuck it. A bloke actually comes out the back of the stages, because I'm bad doing women's voices. So, a bloke comes out the back and says, Brycey, you better get ready to go on stage. You've got about 15. She's like, oh, shit. Cheerio, guys! And the 2 dozen guys at the other end of the bar are like, oh, we'll see you soon. She rushes up the back, and as she does it, she shrugs off her shirt, kicks off her boots, vanishes through the back doors into the backstage area, and the bloke comes out and he's like, yeah, well, you want to know girls, yeah?
That's the one, yeah.
Well, obviously, if you wait a little bit, Brycey will be available. Let me have a look. And he goes over to the clock, and there's a number of coloured chalk streaks. He's like, who's that one? And Leo comes over and goes, don't worry. And he licks his thumb and just wipes it off. He's like, oh. It's like, well, Jasmine's just become available. Also, we've got Jess and Frankie.
I've heard good things about that Jasmine lass, so we'll go with that, I suppose.
All right. Well, Jasmine's standard rate, so that's 2 tack an hour. How long do you think you'll need?
Zeke will sort of put 2 tack onto the bar.
That's what I thought. It'll take you pay for the whole hour, but he just sweeps it off the bar. Maybe there's a lower level behind the bar. Maybe he's got a bag back there, but you just see him sweep it back off the bar. He says, "If you go over to the curtain on the left, we'll send her out to meet you."
Okay.
Would you like any drinks in the meantime?
Yeah, I'd have picked up on the sign at the end of the bar, wouldn't I? That says one free.
There's 2 dozen people at this bar.
I'd say, can I roll for it? See whether or not.
That's really what I'm aiming at here.
Okay. A good thing my perception has just gone up. 12 non-natural.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I'd say you probably shouldered in a little further down. So yeah, you see the 1 free drink, and it's like, oh yeah, all right, yeah, she's not going to get anything for her. Oh, real gentleman. And he'll pour you. He pulls out this picture of very, very pale, orange beer, and he pours it into a mug in front of you. Nothing for Jasmine?
I'm going to fall into the trap and say, what does she drink?
She drinks the Pan-Continental Goggle Blaster. So we're needing it. He gets out a glass. It's kind of like it's got the stalk like a wine glass, but it's like a small fish bowl on the top. And he splashes something clear into it, and then he chucks like a lemon wedge in the top. He chucks like 2 drops of something that's vaguely gelatinous and green into it, and he garnishes it with a sprig of mint until this thing's about half full of mint, with just a few drops of these liquids inside it, and a lemon wedge jammed on the top. And after all that, he takes out a little bucket, he pries the lid off, and he pulls out something small made of wood, and he stands it on top of the glass. It wedges down onto the rim, and he lifts up the little umbrella on it. And it is in fact a full to scale deck chair made of matchsticks with a little umbrella. He's like, "That's a favourite. That'd be 3 tack."
Don't suppose you could do a fella a favour, first time here and all?
That'd be 2 tack.
I'll leave him 2 tack.
Excellent. Once again, he sweeps the 2 tack off the bar, hands you your Continental Gargle Blaster.
I'll head down to the curtain that he indicates I should wait by.
Curtain on the left. Indicate you could go in. Send someone to come and find you.
I will go in and wait behind that curtain then.
Okay. Yeah, you stroll on in through that curtain, and there's a very small, dark room. There's a chair. It's probably meant to look a bit like one of those sort of semicircular like booth chairs, but in fact it's more like a bucket seat. There's a pole that clearly can be pulled down from the ceiling in front of this chair, and there is quite clearly a bed next to it. It might be meant to look like a couch, but it's a bed. It's transparently a bed for sleeping with sex workers. It just is. There's no 2 ways about it. And as you sit in this sweaty room that smells faintly of, well, where you are, you notice that the music outside is changing to a slightly more upbeat number, and if you peek through the curtains, you can see Brycey starting a slightly inept, if very enthusiastic, routine on the pole. Yeah, you sit there for a few minutes, and fuck it, we better decide what Jasmine looks like. A tall, well-built, kind of statuesque woman opens the curtain. She's got sort of auburn hair and the greenest eyes you've ever seen. And it takes you back for a moment, because you're not sure if you've ever seen someone with this skin tone before. Because she is white as white as white. I mean, that doesn't happen here. People are tanned or dirty. People get darker. They don't get this pale. This is either someone who's been kept inside for a very long time, or someone who really works at not having a tan. But yeah, she is, a whiter shade of pale, with gorgeous auburn hair and green eyes. And she just says, "So, what do you want to do with your time?"
I was actually hoping to to make a business proposal. I've heard you work with some fairly high-profile individuals. One of whom I need a brief discussion with.
Give me a manipulate.
Is that on charisma, I hope?
Yeah.
I am going to re-roll that with a legendary point because that is a botch.
Oh god. Okay.
10.
Yeah, she cocks an eyebrow in the way that only a very worldly lady can. You know, and looks at you like an idiot child. I'm not telling you who I work with. I'm not. Do I look like a matchmaker to you? Now, you know. Now sit down, shut up, and enjoy the dance. Or I'm leaving.
I need to speak to Al, and there's 5 tack in it for you if you can.
Al?
Al, it's...
I don't know what you've heard, but you know, but Al has his own girls up on the hill.
If you can't get me to Al, I'm sure Al. I can't believe I'm actually going to suggest this, but can I roll a knowledge to see whether I remember who this is meant to be? Zeke's memory is shoddy at the best of times.
Yeah, if you want. I mean, I was going to tell you, but you can roll.
Yeah, why not? We'll make this interesting. 10.
10. You're pretty sure that it had an L in it. You know, it's in this moment the name completely eludes you. You've been looking for this person for so long with so little luck, for reasons that you can't quite remember at this particular point in time. You're not sure if it's, you know, just all those long days under the sun addling your memory, or possibly the hot sauce. Or just the fact that there is this gorgeous woman in front of you. But for the life of you, you cannot remember what you came here to ask for. And as you sit there sort of befuddled in your own little cloud of confusion, he goes, so, am I going to dance or what?
You know, I will tip her 2 tack and walk out.
She's happy with that. Right, yeah. So, Anita and Timmy, you see Zeke disappear into a back room with. Disappear into a back room. A few moments later, you see a tall, gorgeous, statuesque woman with auburn hair and green eyes, the greenest you've ever seen. Go in and probably about 3 minutes later walk out looking happy with herself. Not an item of clothes dishevelled, makeup untouched, her hair in exactly the same position as it was. Her lipstick isn't even smudged. You can't help but feel that this reflects badly on Zeke.
Do we see Zeke come back out?
Yeah. Zeke walks out almost exactly the same time. Somehow she beats him to the door, but
okay. I think at this point I'm going to raise an eyebrow at Zeke and give that sort of gesture of wealth. That was a bit quick.
All you'll get back is just a defeated shrug
Okay.
as Zeke heads back to the bar.
So Timmy's going to sidle back up to the bar, and a sort of in an act that she doesn't actually know Zeke. So she sort of nods at the other people at the bar and sort of gives the same nod to Zeke, and tries to attract the attention of the guy behind the bar.
That doesn't take long. I mean, he's dealing exclusively with with daytime drinkers in a strip club, who apparently have now all sort of gravitated towards the stage to watch Brycey in her clumsily inept but enthusiastic pole dancing, which is to say, it's really amateur bull crap. But there's a certain level of entertainment that you only get from watching an inept pole dancer fall on their face. And apparently these 24 guys and girls are exactly in that sort of bracket at this point in the evening. Well, this point in the early afternoon, having had their free beers and probably a few extra. And now they're just watching a young teen fall on her face and hurt herself while trying to be attractive.
Okay. So, having got the attention of this guy, I'm going to point over to Jasmine and go, so, who's the redhead?
Oh, she out already. That's it's Jasmine.
All right. She available?
I mean, give her a few minutes to recuperate. Yeah, probably.
Doesn't look like she needs it. And I shoot a glance over at Zeke, and so.
Well, you know how it is with these with these sun-beaten wanderers. They stroll in or giving it all that and stroll out 5-10 minutes later.
Right, people don't know what to do with the women. Right, so how long?
Well, the way it tends to work is she'll come out on stage and do a show, and that'll, drum up the business. We'll know that she's ready. And if no one takes an interest immediately afterwards, then she'll be available.
Right, so what if I put down the money now?
Well, we can definitely reserve you the first slot after, yeah.
All right, how much?
Oh, I'll just show her name's not on the board, so standard rate. That's $2 an hour.
Right, and I slide over 2 tack.
Excellent. And he sweeps it off the bar into a bag behind. It's like, right, yeah. Anything to drink while you're there? I mean, I hear she likes the Intercontinental Goggle Blaster.
Well, let's see if she earns it.
Oh. Mean one, eh? Fair enough. So, and he pours you a mug of the free beer anyway. You've probably already had one, but you've just dropped her some money, so he doesn't really mind. And ready, and soon enough, Jasmine comes out and mounts up on the swing, which you get the impression is almost like the vocalist's stool, but they didn't want something anyone could take off and throw, so they hung it from the ceiling. And maybe it's used for more enthusiastic acts later on in the evening, but yeah. So yeah, you see her sit down on there, and Jasmine starts to sing. Let's see. Yeah, Jasmine starts to sing. It's all right. I mean, she's not tone deaf. You know, it's sort of your average, Britain's Got Talent sort of schlock. You know, she's beautiful and passionate, and alas, not talented, but beautiful and passionate. And she sings something pleasant. Well, we'll have to continue to be upset that you're not getting a rendition of this. Because as long as it's not a man singing, I won't be doing it. Because I noticeably do not have a woman's voice, my lord. So yes, she sits up. She sings something. It's one of those songs where you're not entirely sure what the words are. They're all sort of lost in a lot of vocalizing. There's a lot of around shit, and frankly, it's all right. It sounds nice. You're not sure why she's singing it here. It might just be that this is the only place she could get hired to sing. But it's pleasant enough, and it goes with the music they're playing, which is stringy at this point in time. Someone's got a violin somewhere. There's some violin and there's some drums. You don't see these instruments, but you can hear them. No, I'm not going to sing. But yeah. After a few minutes, there's there is an audible sigh of relief when she stops singing. It was all right for the first few minutes, and then it just sort of trailed on a bit. But yeah, she gets down off the swing. There's some polite applause, and a bit of the less couth. Come on, get your tits out. Come on, shake it, baby. You want to. And she just sort of throws. She kicks a beer off the edge of the stage into someone's lap, and walks off. But yeah, she's vanished off into the back, and and the bloke from the bar, nods to you meaningfully and says, if you go to the curtain on the left, we'll send Jasmine out to see you in a bit. Sit in there, get yourself comfortable. Not sure. Do you want to buy that drink now?
We'll wait till after. Yeah, she does.
Okay, all right.
But Timmy heads over to the curtain on the left.
Okay. So yeah, you head over to the curtain on the left. You push your way in, and inside you see the untouched gargle blaster that Zeke bought. Still sitting on the tiny little sort of forearm width table between the bucket chair and the bed. And god damn. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you're in this little room. A minute or so passes, and the same woman appears. She appears to have reapplied her makeup, most notably, and she's redone her hair. You get the impression she may have just gone backstage and showered. Which, isn't a bad preparation for coming out to see a client, I suppose. But, still, notable. And she comes on in, and, says, well, what can I do for you? What would you like?
For paper and tax, so what's on offer?
Her eyes dart to the bed. She places her hand on the retractable pole in the ceiling and says, what do you want from your hour?
Okay, so at this point, Timmy goes and sits on the bed and motions for her to come and sit down.
Yeah. She's quite happy to come and sit on the side of the bed. She notices her favourite drink next to the bed, picks it up and slams it back in one. And you see a sort of grimace. Oh, fucking hell. Craig's still trying to sell these bastard things. Oh. You didn't buy this, did you?
No. So, not your favourite drink then?
God, no. Get me a decent beer anytime.
Interesting. How long have you been working here?
Oh, you know, a couple of years.
Okay. I think a friend of mine knows you. Young lad. Works out on the market. Herb.
You know,
Sweet little thing.
that Freak's brother, yeah?
Yeah. Nice girl.
Yeah. You know, she's alright. A bit butch for my taste, but you know, alright. Good friend.
Useful to know. So do you work here a lot?
Oh, I live here. If that's what you're asking.
Okay. It's just a friend of mine came in a little while ago. Seemed to leave in quite a hurry.
Oh, you mean the bloke with the bag? Yeah, he was a bit weird.
Seems alright to me. I can be less so fast.
Well, you know, I don't think that fellow would know what to do with a woman.
Eh? Seemed pretty keen to come in.
Aren't they all? He paid for his time just like you.
Indeed, and yet he didn't get his time.
I'm not the one who determines what he paid, or what he wanted to use the time for.
Okay. So, I guess you get to know quite a few of the people that come in here then.
You as well, huh? You're a talker as well.
Not really. And at this point, Timmy kind of puts a hand on the side. Or it looks like she's putting a hand on the side, but actually she's kind of putting it in her pocket. And then just kind of goes to brush Jasmine's out of her face. But as she kind of brushes it, she just kind of takes a few of those little seeds and just kind of drops them onto her eyelashes.
Evil bitch. Oh. Okay. Fuck. Yeah, Jasmine almost immediately, clutches her face, and starts yelling. Ah! What the fuck did you do to my eye?
Nothing. What? Yeah.
She takes her hand away from her face for a moment, and her eye is red and swollen. It looks for all the world like you've belted her in the head.
There's something wrong with your makeup by the look of it. Don't suppose you want to tell me where Bill is, do you?
Don't suppose you want to roll some kind of dice behind that?
Absolutely. What would you like?
It was up to you.
Can I roll a torture?
I don't know if you could roll a torture if you're not admitting to doing anything.
what if I suggest that maybe if she doesn't tell me where Bill is, we'll do the other eye?
I would say that's an intimidate.
Fair enough. Let's go for a 17.
Fucking hell. Oh, shit. So what did you ask? Where's Bill?
Where's Bill?
He's with Daniel. What the fuck did you do to my eye?
Nothing. Looks like you've got dodgy makeup there. Tell you what, keep your tack. Drink your drink. Pick some of that in your eye. Might clear it up. And I walk out.
You see her scooping like a handful of like soggy mint leaves out of her drink and pressing them against her face. And the scream, the horrible scream, echoes through the place. Because, yeah, pressing alcohol-soaked mint leaves to your sore eye is never going to be a great move. That's going to sting like a bitch. Yeah. As you leave the room, Leo, who's already halfway across the room, he's halfway across the room. He's cracking his knuckles. He's ready. He just places an arm between you and the rest of the room against the wall. Yanks the curtain open. What's wrong, Jazz? My fucking eye! You look up, you see him sort of... Fucking hell. And yeah, he's gonna grab you.
Fair enough. At which point I'm going to say, you can't. Nothing wasn't me. Look, if I hit her, you'd notice my hands. There'd be something wrong with my hands. You'd be able to see the graze on my knuckles. My hands are clean. Yeah, she's clearly got something wrong with her makeup.
He's grabbing you. He's picked you up bodily, just like bear hug. He's going to carry you. He's going to carry you through some doors in the back. He's going to step up onto the stage. He's going to carry you through into the back, and you are placed on a chair in a small dark room. Yeah. There's a mirror on the wall, and there's a pile of clothes in one corner, and he steps out of the room and locks the door. You see the key being pulled out of the keyhole from the other side. A little glimmer of light through the keyhole. Hear him leaving. Big heavy tread. So yeah. You guys at the bar, you see Jasmine coming out of the room with a big swollen red eyeball. Crying, because crying always makes it worse when you've got chili in your eye, so it's always funny. Yeah. So alternately mashing this wet mint into her eye and then pulling it away and crying because she doesn't know who to believe. Poor girl.
Have we seen Timmy being taken away?
Oh yeah. Yes. You watch Timmy getting taken away. You see as Leo disappears into the back. You see some similarly built fellas sort of stepping out from the back through the other door, standing by the front. And one goes and helps Jazz backstage.
While sort of muttering to myself, bloody Southerners can't do an easy job. Can I sneak over there and sort of try and pick the lock. And let her.
You don't know where they're taking her. They've just vanished through a door on the back
Oh,
of the
they
stage.
just vanished through the door.
Yeah.
Can I sneak through this door at the back of the stage?
It would have to be the mother of all snakes. I mean, this is an illuminated stage, a raised illuminated stage in a strip club. You'd have to climb onto the stage in a strip club in front of an audience while an act is performing and slip through the door. You know, it's possible. I'm not saying it's not.
Zeke believes in Zeke.
Zeke believes in Zeke.
I'll reroll that with a legendary point. That's a 1. 8 plus 7 is
Enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. You sneak up onto the stage. A few of the other guys are like, "It's on the stage, stage invasion," and poor Brycey, who at this point is close to tears, gets mobbed on stage as the rest of these horny idiots take their cue from you and climb onto the stage. Yeah, and start pouring at her. You terrible person, causing all these horrible things to happen. And you slip through the back door. I mean, you've been seen doing this, but they're all just like, "Yeah, fucking do it!" Before you see these two, large burly blokes, start wading in, throwing people to the floor.
From back here, how many possible doors are there for me to check?
As you move through into the back, you actually come to, there's a continuous corridor across the back here. You can see the other exit to the stage on the left. You go through the right door near the bar, and the corridor just seems to turn a corner at each side, and there seems to be, you assume, dressing rooms further back.
Okay.
There are no doors immediately visible.
I'm going to head to sort of the nearest door and peek through the keyhole if possible, if there is a keyhole, or
to the right or the left.
Right. Yeah, to the right.
Okay. Yeah. You head off to the right, and you see 3 doors and some stairs at the end of the corridor to the right. And the first door, as you said, go to. Are you just trying to peek through keyholes or what?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
If there are keyholes, I'll peek through. If not, I might try the door.
Yeah, okay. You go to peek through the keyhole of the first door, and it's not locked. The door's actually slightly open. It's just dark inside, so it wasn't immediately apparent. It's fairly dark backstage. And the door just swings open, and you see a chair, a small table with a pile of clothes on it, a mirror with some lights around it. Those horrible, horrible mirrors with lights around them. But yeah, that's pretty much it back here. And on the inside of the door, you see that someone's made a little wooden sign, and they've like scratched into it with a stick of charcoal or something. Brycey. Yeah, it's on a little star.
Okay. And then you say there are another 2 doors along here as well.
Yep.
Seeing that this one was empty, I'll go and check another one.
Okay.
Are any of them like specifically closed, or are they all slightly ajar?
At a glance, it's hard to tell. As you know, they're all pretty much closed. Like, none of them are just standing open.
I will properly investigate the next one then, in the same fashion.
Okay. Yeah, you go to the next one, and it clearly has a very similar sort of plaque, but it's mounted on the outside of the door, and it has Jess written on it in gold or brass or something shiny. It's like yellowy and shiny. You know, the star looks nice. You know, someone's clearly taken some time to make it look pleasant and impressive.
Anything through the keyhole, or is it ajar again?
As you try and peek through the keyhole, you actually just you're staring straight into a key.
Okay.
So the key is in the lock from the inside.
Okay, I would assume that had they taken my companion somewhere and they haven't reappeared, the door would be locked from the outside more than likely. I'd have seen them come back out. I'd have seen Leo come back out, so I assume that she's just locked somewhere and moved on to the next door.
As you are sitting there, staring through this keyhole, you start to hear the first few bars of "Why Don't You Do Right?" And because we all pretty much grasp at this point that this is an out of shape Jessica Rabbit. So yeah, you head to the next door, which, in a similar style to Jess's door, has a plaque out the front. It's not fancy, this one. It's just like stamped metal, and it just says Daniel on it.
Do I see? Is it unlocked? Is it open? Is it locked?
It's unlocked.
Okay. Can I quietly give it an open and see what's inside?
Yeah. Here we go. If you want to really do this quietly, it's a sneak. But yeah.
Okay. I can live with that. 8 plus 7 plus 7 is 14.
Yeah. You push the door open. It creaks a little. There's a little bit of a rattle to it. But yeah, as you open the door, there's no one inside. It's a far nicer, better appointed room than Bryce's. It's got the mirror with the lights, but the lights go all the way around it, and they probably work. There's a very large sort of couch-like sort of bed thing on one side with some clothes like strewn across it. There's actually a hanging rail with some costumes on. This room actually has an electric light bulb hanging from the ceiling that, again, probably works.
Okay.
There is nice stuff in here.
But I see no signs of my missing companion.
No. And most notably in this room, there is an open book on the dressing table under the mirror.
Okay. Zeke will go up and inspect the book, and unless there are just a list of numbers inside, it will mean next to nothing. So he will turn around and walk out.
Yes. Okay, so you stroll up, have a glance at the book. There are numbers in there. It appears to be dates. But being illiterate, it doesn't mean an awful lot to Zeke.
Yeah, I would recognise probably that they were meant to be dates, but it's just a list of dates.
Yeah. You look at the two open pages, and there's a date and lots of squiggles, and another date and lots of squiggles, sort of thing. It's quite transparently a diary, but you can't read, can't write. What does this bookish bullcrap mean to you?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So, unfortunately, as I'm sure the diary would be useful, Zeke leaves it where it is and walks back out.
Excellent. So yeah, you now have. As you walk out this door, to your left there are some stairs, and to your right there is the corridor back.
I'm intrigued by these stairs.
Okay. Okay, yeah. You can head up the stairs if you want. You can just glance up them. What do you want to do?
I'll try and testing it each step before putting weight on it for creaks. Ascend the stairs as gingerly as possible.
Yeah, the stairs definitely creak. Like, not loud, but if you're trying to sneak, like in your head, you're like, oh my god, these are creaking so goddamn loud. Anyone who just lived here would just be like, yeah, some kind of stairs. Who cares shit. Yeah. All these places are rickety and sort of, shoddily built.
Mm-hmm.
The fact the stairs are only creaking and not giving way is
Testament to that, yeah.
So you're just walking up the stairs, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you get to the top of the stairs, and there is an almost identical set of dressing rooms, but there's only 2 doors on this floor, sort of on this side.
Okay.
They're laid out in a very similar fashion.
I'll check the closest one, left or right.
Well, you've come across, so the doors are now on your left. On
Yeah.
the opposite side of the building. So yeah, you come to the first door, open it up. It's not unlocked. It's not locked or anything. And there is a big bed. A big bed. It's a waterbed somehow. You open the door and just like the motion of it, you hit the end of the bed. The bed is so large in the room, and the mattress sort of sloshes a bit.
Okay. If there's nothing else of note, as he could try he'd try the next door along, see what's there.
Before you leave, you notice around the waterbed there are crudely drawn vistas of like desert islands. There's like palm trees and like the walls are basically painted blue, and someone's like drawn palm trees and like a beach. It's tacky, but it might be someone's sort of dream love nest. But yeah, you close the door on the weird like island room, and you head to the next. And, yeah. So how are you going about investigating the second room?
Quick listen to make sure it's not occupied, and then check to see whether it's locked.
You listen at the door. There's definitely noises. And we'll leave you there. Right. Anita, having been thrown out of this place like half an hour ago, you're now left sitting alone at the bar in an ill-fitting shirt.
She would have been doing her best to try and keep out of line of sight of anyone who had seen her earlier.
Well, fortunately for you, Brycey the barmaid has been mobbed off the stage, and the 2 burly men who replaced Leonard, or Leo it was, are currently like pounding these people into a fine mist and throwing them out the front door. So Brycey sort of fled backstage now. And everyone who previously saw you in here is no longer in the room. Apart from even Leo, who went out the back. So, hey,
Yeah.
we're just sitting at a bar having a quiet drink in a strip club with an attached brothel.
Yeah, considering she's known in a few of the brothels around here, that's probably nothing new. She is going to have a wonder to see if she can actually just randomly find Bill. She doesn't know what she's going to do if she does find him, but she's just going to have a wonder.
Okay, where are you having a wonder? 'Cause as far as you're aware, having not been backstage, that the only part this whole establishment, as far as you're aware, consists of this room and the 3 curtained off rooms at the other end.
She's going to have a wonder and have a quick look in the curtained off rooms.
Okay, you look in the first curtained off room on the left, and you see a very large, bulbous glass of soggy leaves, and nothing else. There's a bed and there's a chair and there's a retractable pole. It's currently retracted into the ceiling. You twitch the curtain aside on the second room, and you see you see 4 women enjoying what seems to be some kind of curious combination lap dance from a single, rather beleaguered-looking man. Who seems to be trying to avoid pinches and earn a very good tip by sliding all over these people in some manner that some would consider sensuous and some would consider awkward looking. But fortunately, they're not looking at his face, so they can't see how uncomfortable he looks. And there's a lot of drinks around this room. But yeah, and he for a moment catches your eyes, in that sort of help me sort of manner before you twitch the curtains closed again. And you look into the third one, and what we can only describe as something in progress occurring, with a woman you hadn't seen, so presumably someone had paid for a good deal of time. You see two very sweaty people engaged in what appears to be some kind of long-term congress.
She is going to say into that room, "Is Bill in here?"
In a feat of sort of tantric biology that you weren't entirely aware was possible, the woman in this pairing manages to sit up and spin through 180 without disengaging, and with a look of complete and utter boredom on her face, says, "No."
Oh, sorry to interrupt, and she walks out.
Just as you're closing the curtain, she once again adopts a look of fake enthusiasm and spins the rest of the way round. God knows how. And right, I think that's where we have to leave it this week. with one of you about to interrupt someone mid-congress, someone having just interrupted someone mid-congress, and someone thoroughly congressed, locked up in a back room, awaiting some kind of horrible retribution. So that was great. We finally got where we were going, and menaced and intimidated some more innocent sex workers for poisoning them with irritants, and So right, that was Monday Nights Get Nuked, I suppose, this week. I was thirsty, I was the world, and all of the poor victims who reside within it. You can find me on Twitter at Thursday_BTP. You can find me on bloodthirstypuppets.co.uk. You can find me here on Mondays, and also here on Fridays when that starts happening again next month sometime. And Spanners.
Yes, so I am Spanners. You can find me on Twitter at Spanners_BTP. You can find me on Dark Dice with White Bolts. You can find me generally on Twitter all the time. Yeah, that was odd. I promised not to kill anyone. Kept my promise. Didn't traffic anyone. And I made no promises about not upsetting sex workers.
True enough.
I'm not wholly sure how I'm going to get out of a dark room that's been locked with only 4 hit points. But it'll be fun finding out.
Wow. Tune in next time to find out how Timmy escapes a small dark room. Yes. Nail guns not being famously good at breaking down doors.
No. Although I do have nails. No. Who knows? I have a week to work it out.
Yeah. Excellent. Lilth.
I'm Lilth. You can find me on Twitter at Lilth21. You can also find me on Saturdays at 9 PM BST on Kit Battlebeard's Twitch channel, playing Defenders of the Dusk, but we are on a 3-week hiatus, and then the 4th Saturday we will be doing our season finale. It should be interesting. And tonight I interrupted some sex.
Yes. Yes, you did.
And got chucked out of a brothel because, food poisoning.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's face it. If you're going somewhere to get your rocks off, the first thing you don't want to do is walk through a curtain soaked with sick.
I shouldn't leave out dodgy meat.
I'm pretty sure most people would just say toughen up. Didn't seem to affect anyone else.
Hey, and at least we didn't go shopping.
You technically went from one shop to another.
Purchases were made.
Yeah, exactly. You were still within, a mercantile establishment.
But we were in the correct mercantile establishment.
There is that. There is that small consideration, yes. But hey. So yeah, so that's Ivor's turn, I think.
Yep, I've been Ivor playing Zeke. You can find me on Twitter at Ivor_DNABC. Here on Monday nights and otherwise in the Nebulous North. That was good fun. Other than nearly being poisoned by fish crabs, I managed not to get myself either thrown out of anywhere or spotted, so we'll call it a win.
Yeah, and at least in theory, you've run towards danger this time. Although you did do it by inciting a riot in a strip club. Basically. So,
I am yet to poison any sex workers, unlike the other two can claim.
I didn't poison anyone, I got poisoned.
Yeah.
However, at Madame Nooch's knocking shop...
Oh, yeah.
Why does everyone bring that up?
Because it's an exceptionally shoddy thing that you did.
I didn't poison them.
You have no idea what you did to them. You sold them unknown drugs.
That they put in a large water supply, so they would have been diluted so much it may as well be in homeopathy.
Yeah, there is that. Unless, of course, the drugs were exceptionally powerful and highly concentrated.
Well, there is that.
Or if they're just very toxic at very small base trace amounts.
Possibly. Maybe.
So yes, you're all terrible people. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you're watching us later on YouTube, we don't hold it against you for not watching us live, you horrible people. So yeah.
Before we go, can we shout out to Sol Lovelace, who has subscribed? So thank you. Hello.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. So thank you, Sol Lovelace. Thank you everyone else who watched. Thank you, my players. Thank you very much. And cheerio. Ta-ra. Hooray! I left it long enough for us all to wave. Oh. My
I
God.
tried so hard to make us stay together.
No. God. Couldn't arrange a piss up in a brewery.
No.
God.
You've made the right type of motions this time, at least.
Yeah.
Just
Hey, at
in
least we know Daniel. At least I do.
To be fair, I've also never had that situation where I have two players separately go into rooms with prostitutes, and then like I have to go. You have to gauge this thing of like, when do we fade to black when you're in a room with a prostitute? Like, and then I was thinking, oh fuck, like, brush her hair out of her face, like, oh thank God, and poison her, fuck. But yes, one day we will master the... And everyone stayed next to each other, and we experienced it as a party. God.
Where's the fun in that?
Think of it as a challenge. We are challenging you to be creative.
Alright. Right, well. That's that then.
Oh.